Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. एवं श्रीपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य कष्टोत्तर शतस्ति श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की हरे कृष्णा रीडिंग फ्रॉम श्रीमद् भागवतम canto 3 chapter 32 text number 18 17 doesn't have purpose. Oh yeah, 17 and 18 17 sorry 3:32 17 Rajasa Kunta Manasa Kamatmano Jitendriya Pitrin Yajanti Anudinam Pitrani Janti Anudinam Griheshu Aviratashayah Gruheshu Aviratashayah Rajasa Kunta Manasa Kamatmano Jitendriya Pitrani Anudinam Griheshu Aviratashayah Rajasa Kunta Manasa Kamatmano Jitendriya Pitrunyajanti Anudinam Gruheshu Aviratashayah. Everybody can decide. Rajasa Kunta Manasa Kamatmano Ajitendriya Pitrunyajanti Anudinam Griheshu Aviratashayah. Translation. Sorry, word for word. Translation. Such persons impelled by the mode of passion are full of anxieties and always aspire for sense gratification due to uncontrolled senses. They worship the forefathers and are busy day and night improving the economic condition of their family, social or national life. So it doesn't have purport. We're moving to the next words. Traivarkikaste Purusha Te Purusha Vimukha Harimedasaha Katayam Katana Yoru Vikramasya Madhudvishaha. Such persons are carried by Traivargika because they are interested in the three elevation process. Interested in the three elevating processes. They are averse to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can give relief to the conditioned soul. They are not interested in the Supreme Personality's pastimes, which are worthy hearing because of his transcendental prowess. Purport. According to Vedic thought, There are four elevating processes, namely religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Persons who are simply interested in the material enjoyment make plans to execute the prescribed duties. They are interested in three elevating processes of religious rituals, economic elevation, and sense enjoyment. By the development of their economic condition, they can enjoy material life. Materialistic persons are therefore interested in those elevating processes, which are called Trair Vargika. Trair means three, Vargika means elevating processes. Such materialistic persons are never attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, they are antagonistic towards Him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead here described as Harimedasa, Harimedaha, or He who can deliver one from the cycle of birth and death. Materialistic persons are never interested in hearing about the marvelous pastimes of the Lord. They think that they are fictions and hearing about the marvelous pastimes of the Lord. They are fictions and they think that they are fictions and the stories of the Supreme Godhead is also a man of middle nature. They are not fit for advancing in devotional service or Krishna consciousness. Such materialistic persons are interested in newspaper stories, novels, and imaginary dramas. The factual activities of the Lord, such as Lord Krishna's acting in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, or the activities of Pandavas, or the Lord's activities in Vrindavan or Dwaraka, are related in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which are full of activities of the Lord. But materialistic persons who engage in elevating their position in the middle world are not interested in such activities of the Lord. They may be interested in activities of the great politician or a great rich man of this world, but they are not interested in transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. ओमज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुवन्दनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण। So thank you for joining for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. And today is the auspicious appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So we'll be discussing about his life and also about these verses. So here in this verse, Kapil Dev is discussing about the interest of the living entities. Like it is said that like somebody who's actually in the third canto, like in the previous chapters where Brahmaji describes the Vaikuntha planets, he describes in detail about the uh, what it looks like in spiritual world. And after describing all those things, Brahmaji says one thing: someone who hears these glories of glorious pastimes of Lord, they are easily liberated from the material world. But on the contrary, if somebody interested in the worldly affairs, they have tendency to get absorbed in the worldly affairs, like economic development, some political affairs, or some, or defense, or some space, or all these worldly affairs, they are thrown into the darkest region of the hell. So just those two verses, like, no, I think 16 and 17, like uh, 3, 15, 16 and 17, maybe the verse numbers. So those two verses he quotes side by side. If you hear this, you directly go to Vaikuntha and you get liberated. If you hear this, you'll be thrown in the darkest region of ignorance. Why it is said, no, like why one has to go through such a punishment for just hearing the material news or material interesting material things, and just by hearing the pastimes of Krishna, you can directly go back to Godhead. So it is because it actually, whatever we hear, whatever it is called, no, it is the food we take through mouth will nourish our body. So the food we take through ears and eyes, which is the information, will nourish our mind and intelligence. So even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? No. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vidi tattva tattva jevam punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, somebody who just understands my birth and activities as a transcendental, will attain liberation. On the contrary, Krishna says, right? I'm not able to recall the words. When the Mudas, the foolish persons, when I descend in this material world, they deride me, thinking that I'm an ordinary person.
Avajananti Mamudha.
Yeah, Avajananti Mamuda, Manushintani Ashrita. See, like uh, Krishna says, like fools cannot understand my pastimes. They are very much engrossed in the material thing. They think that Krishna is also like this, no? Like, no, for example, somebody may say, "Oh, Krishna married 16,000 wives," and he think that he is like us. No? We already discussed, right? 16,000 wives. He is maintaining each palace for each wife, and each wife has 10 kids, and Krishna is with each wife for all the time, as if he is only with that wife. And he expanded into 16,108 forms, and he's always constantly present with every one of them. Can we do that? We cannot even like satisfy two people. What to speak of 16,108? So it is like Krishna as Paramatma is in the heart of every living entity and personally reciprocated with all the living entities. In one sense, Krishna actually husband of all the living entities. It's like how many living entities that we have? Like some trillions or trillions and trillions. I don't know, zillions, what do you call it? And the number is beyond the count, they say zillions. So
Trillions under this building right now.
no, they actually they invented a hypothetical number. They say when the number is uncountable, they say zillions. So you can say zillions and zillions of living entities, and Krishna is present in the heart of every living entity, even that fly, even an animal, even a cat or dog, or a human being, or a devata, a Brahma. He is in the heart of every living entities, and he is taking care of their body, taking care of all their needs, emotional needs, personal needs, and Karmana Devanetra. And he is actually watching their activities also, and based on that, he will give the next birth. So that way, Krishna's pastimes are beyond our imagination. Krishna's pastimes are so glorious, and We can't even imagine like how Krishna maintains, how Krishna runs these universal affairs. And Krishna's pastimes are so sweet. Just by hearing the pastimes, we can get absorbed in them. That is the perfection of human form of life. Because like when we say like don't do all these things, don't do illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and don't engage yourself in too much of sense gratification. Person who is actually who don't have any spiritual understanding, he says, see, God has given us senses. No, our senses has some uh, ability to enjoy. If God doesn't want it to enjoy, then why did God give senses? No, then you would have kept they would have made us without any senses. So God gives senses to us means we can enjoy. He allowed us to enjoy. No, it is not like that. Uh, God gave us senses only for the sake of service. For example, somebody prepares such a nice garlands, okay, and if they don't have the taste of color, if they can't see colors, can they produce the nice garland? And if like now if they don't have the sense of smell, and do they know like which incense is smelling better, and which scented oil I'm offering to Krishna, and how pleasing it will be. If somebody doesn't have a sense of taste, yeah, whatever he cook, he cannot judge if it came good or not, or it burnt off, or there is no sugar. Instead of sugar, I put salt and offer. So you can't taste. Unless we taste, we can't know the quality. So to just for the sake of our service, Krishna gave us these senses. So if we do everything in the service, music, prasadam, and our decoration, or decorating our body, everything we should do as a service to Krishna, it is considered as devotional service. His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he actually emphasized on Yukta Vairagya. Like earlier, uh, until Shankaracharya, it is said that sannyasis are not allowed to stay in the city. As soon as somebody takes sannyas, they have to go into the forest. So Shankaracharya said, Array, this person who is taking sannyas is the matured fruit, like ultimate result of lifelong tapasya or in knowledge, because he came to the understanding that this material world is illusory and I should actually refrain from sense gratification, and he is the perfect person. And that person with that such a perfect knowledge, he he's going away into the forest and not able to teach or train the others who are actually in the beginning state. So Shankaracharya said, okay, sannyasi can stay in the society, but these are the conditions, he said. No? And he has to stay in some spiritual organization only, and he has to have a very simple lifestyle, like that, he said. So from the time of Shankaracharya, sannyasis started staying in the society and started preaching and are doing all those things. That's why they are able to counteract the Buddhist philosophy and send it away to some other nation. So, but later on, like when it comes to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, like until that point of time, sannyasis are very austere. No, they don't wear even the no, kurtas also. They just wear the dhoti and chadar. They wear their take stick and they grow beard and hair and all those things. And they are very they are thinking that that is the best way of living. Mm. So, but when it comes to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he emphasized on Yukta Vairagya. You can engage everything. Even as a sannyasi, you can wear dhoti, kurta, or shirt, and then preach. Like his old name Bhakti Maharaj, he took to different level. He used to wear different varieties of costumes to attract the Africans. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur actually emphasized on Yukta Vairagya. But when we uh, when we engage with consciously and cautiously everything in Krishna's service, we can use material things also. Like so today is very auspicious day of appearance of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Now today we'll discuss about his life. So it is said that like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established the Nama Sankirtan movement 500 years ago. After this, after he is leaving this world, and during the period of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's period, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement was discouraged by the people, particularly the Vedic scholars, considering that as just a cult of fanatism and emotional sentiments. Because there are a lot of apasampradayas came up after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, after a few hundred years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left. Lot of apasampradayas came, like there are 12 apasampradayas, and they worship Krishna as per their sentiments. And especially the caste Goswamis, Nityananda Prabhu's and all the exalted devotees, they are considered as soon as they take birth, immediately they give the title Goswami. They don't have to do anything, just take birth in that family, immediately you become Goswami. And these Goswamis, they kept on changing the standards, how they perform worship and all those things. And due to which what happened, so much of distortion happened. At least the real teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were lost. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, worried with this decline of Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur traveled all over India and preached Sankirtan movement effectively, and also wrote many books on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Thus, the Sankirtan movement was revived during the period of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur always preached, like he gave the real teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and actually re-established the last last principles of Bhakti movement, the mood and the standards and all those things. He was gradually re-establishing, because that time even the nationalist movement was very high, and all the people who were nationalists, they used to consider this bhakti is not so great like that, and the Western influence also was very much, and educated Indians, they used to feel like bhakti is something inferior. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's main contribution was he was able to influence all these educated individuals, educated who got education in the Western language and culture. He was able to convince them that Bhakti is not something very inferior. Bhakti is something way higher than anything that we can imagine. And some great personalities like were able to become devotees during Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was was praying to Lord Chaitanya to send a successor to him to continue his Sankirtan movement. Okay, he's able to do some service, but he felt he's actually his main contribution went in representing him as a, like for him to become judge, he has to write the exam for 4 or 5 times, and convince the British government that no, even if I become the judge or high official in your government, I won't act against you. You want to convince them. And why Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to become judge is only because so that people will take him seriously. If otherwise, Bhaktivinoda Thakur just as an ordinary person, if he goes with all this philosophy, nobody will take him seriously. But if judge or the magistrate of the city is telling something, is people will take him seriously. That's why he wanted to become this judge. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was successful to some extent in re-establishing the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or re-establishing the Sankirtan movement established by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he was worried, and he was worried that there should be a person, able powerful personality who can take this bhakti movement forward. And he was constantly praying for that. He doesn't mean that Lord send me in my home only or nothing like that. He is praying, send me somehow as a disciple, as a devotee, somebody whom I can invest, whom I can trust, to carry forward this bhakti movement. So by prayer, because of his prayers, he got a child in 1874. At that time, he was working as a magistrate in Jagannath Puri, Odisha. He was also the manager of Jagannath Temple at that time. And when child came out of mother's womb, his umbilical cord was wrapped around him like a sacred thread worn by Brahmana. This child was named as Vimal Prasad. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was praying intensely, and suddenly, his wife, she gave birth to Vimal Prasad. And when he took birth, as soon as he took birth, he came from the womb of his mother. What is the mother's name? Bhagavati Devi, with the umbilical cord as a Brahmin thread. So that was a very auspicious moment. Very few, very rare souls come out like that. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur and all other people said, "Oh, this person is a great," like that they said. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, okay, he's okay. He was happy about that, but he was not sure. Then what happened? When the child was 6 months old during Jagannath Ratha Yatra, the cart stopped in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it could not be pulled further. When the wife of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur placed the child at the lotus feet of Jagannath deity, a big flower garland hanging around the neck of the Lord fell down and encircled the child. And this proved that the child was a blessed child of the Lord. So Bhagavati Devi was in the home, and Ratha Yatra was going on. We know, right, during Ratha Yatra, you don't even have space to properly stand. And if you want to pull the chariot of Jagannath, nowadays also it is like, as it will be like compressed, like will be pressed as hard as as if your body size will become half. Such a, like, you cannot even reach out the rope. And at that point, no mother will take a child to take darshan of Jagannath. But when Lord's chariot came in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it stopped altogether. It stopped moving. It is said that Pandas say, when Maharaj met Pandas, he said, "Oh, I like the way you carry Jagannath, dancing, like shaking, nicely shaking, and dancing in a manner of dancing under the chariot." And Pandas says, "Oh, Maharaj, no, we don't dance. It is Jagannath who dance. We try to control Jagannath. That's what you do." So even the chariot will move when in Mahaprabhu's Leela, when Maharaj Pradhaparutra was there, one time Lord Jagannath's cart totally stopped, and Maharaj Pradhaparutra requested all the devotees pull the chariot with all your strength. All the devotees used to, not devotees means like hundreds or tens. It is thousands of devotees pulling the chariot, the rope, and thousands of devotees try to pull the chariot. It didn't move at all. And then Maharaj Pradhapada called for the wrestlers, who are very powerful human beings. And they also, along with the other devotees, they also try to pull. Still, the chariot doesn't move. Then Maharaj Pradhapada, they are Gajapatis, right? They have a lot of elephants. They said, "Okay, bring all the elephants." And then Maharaj Pradhapada made elephants to drag the chariot of Jagannath. Their elephants tried their best. Chariot even moved an inch. So, and everybody thought this is a desire of Jagannath. Jagannath doesn't want to move like that. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, and then he said, "Okay, take off all the elephants, all these wrestlers," and then he went backside, and with his head, he just gently pushed it. Then cart immediately moved. So Jagannath wanted to have this loving reciprocation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the mood of Radharani that time. So until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pushes, the Lord doesn't want to move. So that was the Lord's desire. So even here, like when Jagannath's chariot went and stopped in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur house, Bhagavati Devi stopped means like it stopped for quite some time. So people they are finding different ways why Jagannath stopped like that. They don't know. So then she brought Vimal Prasad to Jagannath's lotus feet, and the garland fell. So that is second confirmation. So then and there, Annaprasan of Vimal Prasad was performed with Jagannath's Mahaprasadam. No. So that is then Bhaktivinoda Thakur developed full firm conviction. Yes, this is the answer to my child. This is the answer to my prayers. He is the answer to my prayers. Then he got full conviction. So the child was taught Krishna consciousness by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Even in the age of 7, this child memorized all 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita and its meanings. So I came to know somewhere else, not only Bhagavad Gita, he read all the Vedas, and then he understood the purport of everything, and he exclusively memorized all the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita. And one time what happened, he was a child. Now one time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a magistrate. Some people brought some mangoes to Bhaktivinoda Thakur as a gift. And as soon as he saw nice ripened mangoes, he immediately, Vimal Prasad, he actually took a mango and ate. And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw that, he gently said, he was still a kid, not like 7, 8 years old. He was just a kid. So he wanted to train Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He said, hey, why did you eat mango? We should not eat like that. First, we should offer to Krishna and then we take prasad. Very, very mildly, he said that. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur take it so seriously. He said, I will never eat mango. I'm offended. I'm offender of so I will take over that. I will never eat mango in my life. Now 7, 8 year olds boy, the promise of how many of us take oath not to eat sweets, not to eat all those things, and broke. Of course, Mara says somebody who is too strict, they can't survive most of the time. But it shows his greatness, such a small, tender-aged boy taking such a serious, taking to such a serious level. So, and it is said that even if after he becomes sannyasi, he becomes the guru of Gaudiya, and then he is the all his disciples. There's any somebody brings him mangoes, they used to go and offer him, knowing that he doesn't eat. But if he says, no, please, I cannot eat. You can offer to Krishna and you eat yourself. So everybody in the Gaudiya used to have the mango, prasadam of mango fruits. But Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur never ate a mango throughout his life. So as a child, Vimal Prasad in his age of 10 was initiated. These are all in a chronological order, okay? So one incident happened before that, like that, okay? This child, Vimal Prasad, in his age 10, was initiated with Hare Krishna mantra and Narsim mantra. Then he was known as then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur had an outstanding memory, and during his college days, he read all the books in the library and made a private studies into higher mathematics, international history, and philosophy and Vedic astronomy. He was a great debater in philosophy and theology. In 1897, in his age 23 itself, he opened a school in Kolkata named Saraswata Chatushpati that taught the Vedic astronomy to many scholars of Kolkata. So in the age of 23, he opened a university itself that's called, they mainly taught about astronomy. He also started and ran two monthly magazines, Jyotirvid and Brihaspati, in which he published many articles like Surya Siddhanta and Vedic astronomy. In 1895, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saroj Thakur was attending the meeting of Fathers Vishwa Vaishnava Rajya Sabha in Calcutta. So, one interesting thing is here, in the age of 23, right, he established this university of astronomy, and he was so proficient in mathematics and astronomy. All the astrologers, very professional astrologers, they used to consult Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur for his opinions about astrology, because, and he used to clarify their doubts. He became so proficient. So all the astrologers, they actually gave him the title Bhakti Siddhanta not Siddhanta Saraswati. That was the title given by the most prominent astrologers of that time. They all come together and give him the title. They what called Satkar awarded the title as Siddhanta Saraswati. Siddhanta. But later on, when he actually took renounced order of life, he actually added Bhakti to the title that he was given. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was his sannyas name. So after 23, he started the two magazines. And like we are discussing, right, how in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, since 1895, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was attending the meetings of his father's Vishwa Vaishnava Rajya Sabha. And in 1899, he was editing and writing the weekly Kolkata magazine, the Nivedana. So we all know that pastime, right? For Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur attending the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajya Sabha. Like generally, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to regularly attend to these meetings and a debate, and that's how he used to convince all the Brahmins and philosophers. So one time, what happened? Like I think that will come later on. I think. Okay, let us continue. So he wrote Bange Same Jatika in 1900. In 1901, he was initiated in Gayatri Mantra by Srila Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj from Navadip. So, yeah, that pastime, like I was saying, right, the Vishwa Vaishnava Rajya Sabha, where Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is supposed to attend that meeting to address the Brahmins and Vaishnavas. The Brahmins and Vaishnavas have some conflicting differences, like who is great, Brahmins or Vaishnavas. And suddenly Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur fell ill. So what he did, he sent Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur to go and attend that meeting on his behalf. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur went there, and the Brahmins were very strongly presenting their viewpoints, and Vaishnavas are presenting their viewpoints, all those things. And then, and that head of that meeting, he had said, okay, now the representative of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, his son Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he will, no, he may call a Vimal Prasad maybe that time. He said he will address the meeting. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, what did he do? Intelligently, he went onto the address to address them. So for more than 1 hour, he glorified Brahmins only. How Brahmins are great, how the birth of a Brahmana is so rare, all those things he glorified. And all the Brahmins are so much attached and so much captivated by his presentation. He was quoting slokas from different Puranas and all the Vedic verses, and which they never heard also. So, and finally they said, okay, this person, whatever he say, will accept. That conclusion they came. Then from that, after, then he started, let me talk about Vaishnavas also. Let me talk about Vaishnavas also a little bit. And then he started quoting how Vaishnavas are way better than Brahmanas. And then finally he won the heart of all the Vaishnavas present there. And that time one police magistrate was there. the head of that region, the police head, he was present there. And everybody, after hearing Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's explanation, how Vaishnavas are the highest, then everybody go down to him and started taking dust from the lotus feet of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. He was a 23-year-old boy, and these are way elderly personalities, like some are 80s, 90s, or some of that age, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. And even this officer also went and took the dust from his lotus feet. So I'm telling about this police officer, right? He will come later on, okay? So after that, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur compiled then he took initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. We all know that how Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj doesn't want to accept any disciples. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if you want to take initiation, you take from him only. He's a pure devotee of Lord. Like that, he used to give the instruction to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. And whatever, I think he went 13 times to get initiation. And Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj used to say, okay, you come next time. Or like that, he used to somehow give excuses and then pass time. Finally, what happened one time, like the Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was walking on a bridge. So, and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur thought this is the right time. So he went and ran and then begged initiation. And then Gaur Kishore Maharaj said, no, I'm not qualified. You are such a learned person. You are the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and you are a Siddhanta Saraswati. He is like a very learned person. How can I'm an illiterate person. I don't have any qualification. He said. Then he actually took to blackmailing. Maharaj, if you don't give me initiation, I'll jump right now in front of you into the Ganga. So he like kind of not blackmail. He actually meant it. This is the day, like today will be my last day. And then he like he's like seeing the conviction that Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur had. Gaur Kishore, we accepted only one disciple, that is Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. He actually gave the dust of his lotus feet on the head of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and accepted him as disciple. After that, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has compiled the Vaishnava encyclopedia named Vaishnava Manjusha. Then in 1900, he started preaching Srimad Bhagavatam in Puri. And he traveled in 1904. He traveled and preached in East Bengal. And in 1905, he traveled and preached the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in far southern provinces of India, to which to the places such as Simhachalam, Madras, Tirupati, Kanchipuram, and many other places. In 1911, he lectured to an comparative position of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas in All India Conference of Panditas at Midnapur. Okay, that past time that happened at Midnapur, that happened in 1911. Presented over Pandita Vishwambara Nandana Deva Goswami. In 1912, he traveled and preached different parts of Bengal. In 1913, he established Bhagavat Press in South Calcutta, which was later moved to Mayapur, then to Krishnanagar, where he began to publish his many carefully edited books. So overall, he wrote and published around 61 books and 8 magazines. He wrote the Bengali translation of the works of Madhvacharya Sampradaya to public in Bengal, and he has taught the relative position of different Vaishnava and non-Vaishnava schools of philosophy, and has brought out the difference between the empiric and relevant methods of spiritual understanding. He always stressed on the importance of publishing and distributing Vaishnava literature. So for the purpose, he started 4 printing presses. Bhakti Vinod Thakur disappeared in 1914. He took over the he took over as editor of his father's monthly journal, Sajjana Toshini. In 1927, he converted Sajjana Toshini into English, fortnightly called The Harmonist. He took sannyas in the age of 44 and accepted the title Goswami Maharaj in 1918. On the same day of his renunciation, he established the first Vaishnava monastery, the Chaitanya Mutt, at Sriram Mayapur, which became his preaching headquarters. In 1918, an important person or in popular religious or religious organizations met Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and became his disciple. He would arrange for the Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's transportation between Mayapur and Kolkata, and he rented him a small house in Kolkata for expanding the preachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. This house became known as Bhakti Vinoda Angan and later known as Sri Gaudamat. Then it was later moved to large marble building in Bagh Bazar in North Calcutta in 1930. Before he passed away from this world, he opened 64 Gaudamats for propagation of spiritual life and Bhagavat philosophy. From 1990 to 1929, he was touring and preaching all over India. During these travels, he installed the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 108 places, in all the places where Mahaprabhu has traveled. In 1919, he compiled his preaching tour over North and East Bengal. In 1920, he toured East Bengal, and in 1922, he visited Vrindavan with hundreds of disciples and gave lectures at all major temples of Lord's pastimes. So, an extensive tour of Bengal to all the holy places connected to the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did in 1925. In 1926, he toured Assam. So, 1928 to 29, he traveled Punjab and gathered many manuscripts of Vaishnava writings. So, during his, since Srila Bhakti Siddhanta made many devotees not born of Brahmin families, and he made them as good as Brahmanas. The caste Brahmanas are very much in an uproar about this, turning those not born in Brahmana families into Brahmanas and making them better than them. Especially the Nityananda Vamshas especially plotted to assassinate him and went to police magistrate to bribe him. No, I told right that time, one police magistrate took the dust of protest. So accidentally, the same magistrate was that time there. So these people, the caste Brahmanas, they tried to assassinate him. So they tried to bribe him, and this magistrate actually he know the glories of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. He said, "I don't want to get involved in killing of a sadhu." Then he is the one who actually intimated the Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur that there is a plot to kill him. So that's how Lord saved Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. So the police magistrate told him that he could not be connected to the killing of a sadhu, a holy man. The police magistrate then immediately informed Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, and in this way, Siddhanta Thakur's life was saved. It happened in 1932, I think. 30. So in 1933, he sent some sannyasi disciples to England to preach and open Gaudamats in West, but not being able to convince the Westerners to take up the spiritual life, they returned unsuccessful. Now we know, right, how it pained Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur to hear the word, "It cannot be done." And he said, "Don't show me your face until I leave." And you know that he was very strong with that disciple. So then he asked his most beloved disciple, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to spread Lord Chaitanya's Nam Sankirtan movement to every corner of the globe. So the first instruction of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur to Srila Prabhupada was, as soon as he met in Kolkata, as soon as he saw Prabhupada, he said, you intelligent young man, why don't you go out of, why don't you preach the message of Lord Chaitanya to the English speaking world? He gave the first instruction. And when Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada or Param Guru, when he was actually trying to propagate Krishna conscious movement in his own ways, in Jhansi and all those things, he used to regularly write to Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur. So, and finally, one time what happened? Prabhupada actually wrote this letter, my dear Guru Maharaj, you have so many disciples, so many dedicated disciples working for you. But I am this insignificant Grihastha. I don't get time to meet you. I can't serve you. Plus, please let me know if there is any way that I can serve you. He wrote that letter. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, responded to him saying that I will be very pleased if you can go and preach this Krishna conscious movement or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement to the English speaking world, preach in English language. That will do good for you and for them. So he gave that letter, and then in 1936 he was residing in Jagannath Puri. In 1936, 31st December, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur left this world in the age of 62. So that is the last letter which Prabhupada also got. So that was his first instruction and the last instruction as well. After 1937, after disappearance of Gaudiya, after his disappearance, the Gaudiya established by him continued to preach, continued the preaching service. However, the dream of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to preach Sankirtan movement outside India remained unfulfilled. It was in 1937, okay? Last instruction to Bhakti Srila Prabhupada was received in 1937. So it was started by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada in 1965. How many years? Almost like 30, like close to 30 years. When he left the United States to preach. So his objective are now fulfilled by lakhs of devotees connected to ISKCON that all of us know very well. Okay. So the reason why we are all coming together, we are all like a family here, enjoying Krishna Katha, Krishna Prasadam, Krishna Darshan, Krishna service is one instruction by Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur to Srila Prabhupada. So that is the power, that is the potency of the exalted personality. That just one thought can liberate entire universe. So that is their causeless mercy that now we are getting this opportunity to be in this wonderful moment, and okay. We'll end here. If you have any questions or comments, you can discuss. Anybody would like to add anything? Yes, ma'am.
So can you explain that last time where you said that
Yeah, because especially like Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to tell to his disciples, go and preach. And his disciples used to go to different places, Kolkata, all these places. And they used to come say, Maharaj, nobody's coming to the program. When you go there, hall is empty. And he said, still, you go and preach to the four walls. Means he has to go from all the way, from Gaudiya to there, and preach to the four walls and come. And even especially this was highlighted when this person, Barnes Maharaj, right? I think he went to England to preach, and he tried his best to preach. But the thing is, he was setting the standard so high that nobody can reach. But with respect to Prabhupada, actually Prabhupada lowered the standard so much. He said, just chant Hare Krishna and you don't have to do anything. And Prabhupada used to give nice prasadam. Prabhupada used to be with them like a friend, like a roommate, and all the Westerners who actually took Krishna consciousness, they are hippies. Hippies doesn't have a bad habit which doesn't exist, right? So they do everything. They broke all the regulatory principles, all those things. And but Prabhupada was patiently just giving them nice prasadam and then washing their plates and taking care of them. And when and Prabhupada told them just come to classes, take prasadam and just chant. You don't have to do anything. But these disciples of Prabhupada, after practicing for so many days, they themselves came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, is there anything that we have to additionally do? And Prabhupada said, no, not required, just to chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Like that, he used to send off. So 2-3 times they came to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, are you sure you wanted to follow some things? They said, yes, Prabhupada, we would like to do anything for you, like that they said. And Prabhupada said, okay, follow 400 principles. So what are 400 principles? Immediately, no meat eating. Immediately, one atom of fell on their head. And then no intoxication. Another one. So like each regulatory principle is like a great thing for them. But still, because of the association of Prabhupada and because of the nourishment they received through holy name and the prasadam until that point of time, they were able to easily give up these things. Because see, gurus also, they don't give instruction to anybody and everybody. Because if they give instruction, if that is not followed, that is Guru Ravagnya. That is one of the offenses. So that's why, like Maharaj also, now Prabhuji says, right? Eagle says, when you approach the exalted personality, especially like Maharaj and all, you should be very, very, very careful what you speak with them. Because if they say something and you don't do, immediately you will get a reaction. So that like no Bhakti Thakur, Thakur, he sent these devotees to preach in England, and they came and they said it cannot be done. They didn't say we are not. I'm sorry, Maharaj, we are not able to do like that. They would have told about their failure. Instead, they passed the statement that this cannot be done because the people are so addicted to the sense gratifications, they cannot give up anything. So Mahaprabhu's movement cannot be taken there like that. They said they passed the statement, which actually pained Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Actually, when they came from England to back to India, Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself personally went. Guru himself went to receive his disciple. But when he heard this statement from them, it enraged him. And he said, I don't want to see your face as long as, like now, you don't show me your face. Like that, he said. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, until he passed away, that disciple never even come to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's last of Christ's house. Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, how many mud he created where? And what
64
happened? What happened?
throughout India.
But now.
They are still there. They are growing here. They are growing within India. They are expanding outside India also right now.
Oh,
We see some golden mud. What's happening?
mud means center? Or?
Yeah, center temple. Yeah, they are also now they are very supportive to all the ISKCON devotees also. ISKCON devotees when they go some places they don't find any ISKCON temple, they go and stay in Bodhemut and do whatever they do.
I'm not seeing mud.
Yeah, I can
Puri and all, he did not hear.
Puri, especially in Badrikashram and all,
Yeah.
they are there.
In Puri, there are too much actually.
Mm. They are there. Hare Krishna. So, any doubt, add anything? You might have already fully reached charge now.
I can't believe that.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
How many rounds he recommended?
So, Bhaktivedanta Thakur initially recommended to take any Harinam initiation. He said, chant 4 rounds. To take Brahmin initiation, you have to chant 64 rounds. So, from 4 to very long jump of 64. So, that is very difficult for us. That's why Prabhupada actually, like in every initiated disciple in Gaudiya, they chant 64 rounds daily. But Prabhupada actually, out of compassion, he reduced to 16 rounds. But direct first initiation itself is 16 rounds. Okay. Hare Krishna, anybody have any questions online? Questions or comments? Okay, we'll end it here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. His Holiness His Divine Grace श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज आविर्भाव महोत्सव की
Yes.
Jai.
की जय।
Yeah.
चलो।